My name is Lily Keston.
My name is Carmen Clemente.
My name is Grace Statzer.
Hello, I'm Liliana Fisher. I don't have a middle name.
I am an Asbury graduate. Graduated back in the spring of 2024.
I graduated from Asbury in 2023 with a degree in media communications and English studies. Currently, I teach 8th grade writing at West Jess Middle. I still live at home due to the kind of crazy economy, but
our friend group was part of the infamous MediaCom network of friends. Yeah, that's kind of how we got familiar with each other, got to know one another. But then junior year, we became roommates in Aldersgate, Thacker C.
Yeah, even though I'm 2 years post-grad, life is good. It's a very different stage for sure, but having a 9-to-5 is pretty sweet. So
what does a spiritual friendship mean to you? How do you think this group is a representation of it?
I would say a spiritual friendship to me is one that kind of resembles like Christ and his relationship with his disciples. Like those are the people that were closest to him and lived life with him. And you can see like the encouragement and the times they had, like it was obviously very meaningful, and like Jesus is our lead example for what that should look like.
I think that all friendships and dynamics with other people are spiritual because people are spiritual, so everything will have that dimension to it, and I think the great thing about being friends and living together at a place such as Asbury is that everyone has a different way of thinking and being spiritually.
We're sisters in Christ, and we know that we can always depend on each other for prayer and for just fellowship like that. So it's really important that as we continue to grow and change as people, we're also growing and changing in our faith.
The friend group has definitely gotten a little smaller, more intimate, I'd say. But that freshman, sophomore year, Liliana, Grace, Lily, and I, we really got to know each other just through the connections we made, and we found the little quirks that we resonated with each other with. We found what we have in common and kind of latched onto that, and we're like, hey, you and me, we're gonna be friends now.
I think the main thing is humor. All of us we have very similar humor styles, so like jokes and continuing jokes or bits. That's a big thing. With this friend group, I've seen us grow through a lot and have to experience hard things in life, but good things, and the support that we receive and give. I've seen that represented very well, and it's just easy to come back to these girls and just feel comfortable.
The girls and I, we don't get together very often, but when we do, it's like nothing has ever changed. It's a lot of whimsical laughter. It's a lot of just hanging out and catching up and seeing how we're doing. We're all in very different stages of life, I feel like. So
being a friend post-grad, post-college, it's all about intentionality and actually reaching out to people and taking the time to be like, hey, let's hang out, we haven't hung out in a while, or hey, we haven't talked in a while. Just, even if it's a quick text message, just update me on your life if you feel like it.
When you're in college, a lot of friendships can be based purely on convenience, and you just kind of happen to be around the same people.
College is very unique in the fact that you see these people all the time. You see them more than your family most of the time. You're with them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and classes and chapel, and everything in between. In post-grad, your friendships, even if it's like one dinner every 2 months or running into each other at the grocery, those moments matter just as much as hanging out with each other in between classes or whatnot. You kind of have to take what you get post-grad, and you can't be like so caught up in analyzing like, oh, are we drifting apart? Like, are we ever going to be the same? It's not going to be the same because you're post-grad, you're in completely different life paths.
Have you outgrown any friendships since graduating? And if so, did that teach you anything?
So I've definitely outgrown some friendships in college, and I've learned that is okay. I think the people pleaser in me wanted to keep as many friendships as possible, but I've learned that friendships, it's all about quality over quantity. That's definitely a huge learning curve I had to learn when it comes to post-grad friendships. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna, have the number of friends that I had in college, but it's okay because I can really foster a good quality friendship.
But it doesn't mean that you always have to be in constant contact either. There's a lot of people that I feel really close to from college, and we'll go a long time without talking to each other, but we still know that each other is there and that we'll reconnect whenever the time is right.
Can you think of any specific moment when you felt especially supported by this group?
I would say a moment where I felt supported is when there's just difficult times in life, especially big changes, or even just pursuing new passions. They're always willing to lend a hand or just to offer words of encouragement. So
Showing up for one another may just mean hanging out one night after work or picking someone up, or we were all in Carmen's wedding a couple years ago, so that was a huge way that we all showed up for each other for sure.
I love how wild these people get, but we also get chill.
Yeah,
Like
there is a
we
good
know when
combo
to
there.
go wild and we know when to chill.
Yep.
And I like both.
Scheduling naps with each other, I think me and you would schedule our naps.
Yeah.
I remember falling asleep in the living room with the windows open, and we were all, I don't know if you were there, but we were all
a group nap.
it was
Yeah.
like a group nap with
We were
the
all
windows
splat.
open, and I don't know, it was just the fact that we could be at peace with each other and schedule naps and just be in the same area without being oh, she's being so loud.
It's no, we're all asleep.
No, we're all sound asleep, and we're all tired girl bosses that need their rest.
Okay.
And one word each. What is one thing you guys miss about living with each other?
Women, because I live with a man now.
Ew. Where's the circle go?
Just you.
Oh, plants.
Art. Not art.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for this.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.